Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host Martin Wong, and today in our trading idea with SMARTRobie, we are back again for the new January. That's right, 2022, and market hasn't been that great, especially for the KLSE and also for the US market, as we see the continuing concern about the interest hike and also the Omicron. Last Friday, we've seen a slew of falling the KLCI, and let's take a look what we have for you. If you notice, just on top of me here, you can see last week we have the KLCI on the 14th of January traded down to 1555, which was down 14 points. And this morning too, you can see from top of me here, switching to a wider chart and continuing the sell-off that we see, 1546. Of course, no really big surprise if you look back on the chart that you see over here. We've seen the 1560 hitting that resistance and the market sell-off. But more importantly is to continue to look on to the foreign funds. Okay, the foreign funds, you can also check out the UOB fundamental picks in there, which is let me just show you the foreign funds flow here. That's the one. This is the foreign funds flow. Continue to show some movement coming in here. Is this sell-off maybe due to the scare, or some bloggers say to sell all the technology stocks, and that's why we see in the technology stocks as well. But let's see what we have for you in our news headline. That's right. So let's switch back in here. So far we have the market reacting, but then again on our Pentagon Guider we do have some couple of shares which is base building, looking good opportunity again in this very bearish outlook. We can see many of the other sectors other than finance and energy, many of them seem to be falling in here. So take note and know which sector doing well by going into the sector analysis. Now on our news roundup this morning, definitely first in our headline is what we just talked about, the global tech stock sell-off. Now remember, the global tech sell-off we had was due to the continued bad news that we've seen in the US interest rate hike, and there is no reprise from it, and people are anticipating, and right now the market is going correction. But what these articles did say and hear from the UOB, this represent an opportunity to buy. That's right. So you're saying that Inari, Great Tech and VS are their favorite picks, and that's why I said before, these are some of those good stocks. And of course you can always look at them by going to the SMARTRobie, whether they've been oversold, switching to a wider chart here and go on the Robie chart and just waiting for that green pentagon to come back up, and before if you're willing to buy. And some of these stocks like Great Tech, $8.30 target price, and if you look right now on Inari this morning, you can see that big sell-off, and if you measure from the 4 ringgit right down to 350, that is almost a 15% drop, and many people were shaking off whether they want to cut loss or not. Again, this article pretty much sum it all. It does represent a good opportunity right now, those of you who are looking for longer term. And of course, in my opinion, if you want to buy this on a technical analysis trade, look for the double bottom and make sure you use the market stages, right? The market stages will stage the two base of the indicator, what we see the higher high, and that's really a good entry to be buying. And that's more something that we will talk on Wednesday night. So make sure you join us on a Wednesday night for our VSA showcase. That's right. So on this side, on the outsourced semiconductors, Inari is their top pick for their superior 3 years CAGR of 37% growth in here. Now, no doubt the technical charts will be very ugly. The news are bad. As I said before, many of us must need to learn how to buy on fear. I'm actually looking to buy right now when I see the right technical sign. I'm still bullish pretty much with the year going on for this year for the technology. Bad news, learn to appreciate. All right, let's move on to our next story that we have. Is no other than the Ringgit recovery. Now, another economist, this is from HSBC, is telling us that the foreign funds are coming in. As you can see earlier on, just couple of 3 days ago, we see foreign fund coming. But I do take looking at the technical charts, we are seeing the market actually caught between the 416 and the 416 and the 422 price range bounds. All right, so but is saying that you can hit the 416 and rebound hit 4122, but the immediate threat to the overall is the general election 15, which is targeted to be in, because we are likely to see some ringgit volatility coming in from mid 2022, which is another 5 months from here, to be frank with you. The general election 15 will need to be held before July 2023. So that is a big take, and the head of foreign research are looking at the local currency strengthening at 418 in the fourth quarter, in the 410. I don't think that is likely to happen. More likely to happen, you hit 416, is going to rebound back, and many of these economists will be very, very quiet in here. I think overall, many of you may agree, going forward with the current fiasco that we've seen in some of the government policies and not able to raise revenue in the pre-GE15, because raising revenue or raising tax, raising GST, the notion of it will get the current Perikatan Nasional political group in lots of trouble and not being very favorable. So what they can do is try to please to the public and going into GE15 and see how well they perform from that. So on the next news is SLP, which is a plastic packaging maker, and they've done pretty well. A double-digit growth for the year ending 31st December, registered a net profit of 13.8 million, right? 13.8 million on the back of for the first 9 months, and a net profit of 16.3 million with a revenue of 147 for the FY20. So that seems to be very good for SLP. Let's take a look at SLP here. And switching to a wider chart here, so you can see SLP, and SLP right now it's building a nice space inside there. Looking at it, so this is in the green pentagon, but looking at it, you can see the liquidity is not that high, but this is a good profitable company. It's going to be very, very challenging whether you are able to hold on or you simply want to trade this chart. Now, having said that, any trade, if you're trading in the short term, if you get a profit target, go for it and exit and get out of it. I think with this market sentiment right now, seems to be pointing to the blue pentagon that we see in the KLCI. So that seems to be a good area to take quick profits, so forth. All right, let's move on to our next story is Air Asia. Now we have seen Air Asia had a big fall because the Bursa is not refusing them to rebrand themselves out from the PN17, or in other words of extending the PN17. So you can see from the chart last Friday it actually dropped some more. So right now the spin doctor Tony Fernandez is trying to spin. Look, we've been a great airline, and we have seen airline has been a real disaster, right? So they are going into food delivery and online food logistic, and they're competing with some of the big players like the Grab in here. Yet to be seen whether the margin will be hit, but they have no choice, to be frank with you. I do think that this is a great strategy to survive and to sort of prolong that period until the COVID-19 so-called travel ban is lifted, and then maybe Air Asia will come back. But even going towards the pre-COVID-19, Air Asia was already struggling with the revenues and growth. Or growth is there, but it's struggling with revenue and also net profit. Yet to be seen whether they will be profitable with the largest food delivery and ride-hailing. Yes, being the largest, but more important, being profitable too, right? Let's go on to the next story here that we have, and it's going to be on Dialog. We've seen Dialog today took a big tumble, down 3% after be moving up nicely in here. So you can look from the chart here. Let's key in Dialog, which is benefiting from the oil and gas. It's also one of the favorite pick by many of the fundamental analysis in here. You could see the market picks up around 240 there. Green Pentagon, and definitely hit the resistance that we're seeing. So the market now is sort of pulling back today at 3%. It is a buy call, which is from the research house, and putting it at 375. Right now it's only, let me just pinch this up a bit. You can see here it's only around less than 280. So a little bit more room to go. If we put on 375 divided by 280, that's probably another 34% upside from here. Would it hit that? I doubt it. Most cases market tend to take profit earlier before it does, unless we see a nice run that we see in the energy sector. So for the energy sector, switch over to the US side and you will probably get a much better scenario from them. Use the ETF USO in your trading view. We can see that trend will likely to continue or not. So from here onwards, let's move on to the next story that we have is Guangchong, which is one of my favorite picks that I like for the play on the recovery, and also a tendency many people like to have chocolates, especially the European market. So this story talks about the GCB putting it a buy call at 340. Let's take a look at GCB here. Okay, GCB, a buy call. If you look from a comment and chart in here, they came down from a base, had the green pentagon, but hitting resistance around, I think this is 260 if not mistaken. Yeah, 280 and pull back. And this morning, let's take a look where is GCB in here. So the analysts like it for the same reason that I always talk about, economic recovery. People are going back to eat chocolates. Right, Christmas is already over. Hopefully we see a good uptake in the chocolates sales that we've seen. Okay, let's take a look at the GCB live prices this morning, whether it is up or down. It is almost unchanged at 272. Let's move on to our next story. Okay, so our next story is focused on US, and many of the analysts that was surveyed on the Barron saying that this is a tough year for the stock market as FI, because we have the interest rate likely to be raised in March. But another thought is, this is what I usually believe also, they want to wait and see and how the economy is doing with it. If the economy were not to rebound, or the stock market were to tank or corrected much more severe, they may just delay the interest rate hike, and you can see the stock market will rebound back. This is more of a wait and see, not necessary to raise the interest rate, despite what they say on the news, as well as some of the federal chairman in here. So I believe what is likely to happen is that they were going to say they will do it, but unlikely to hike it until much later in here, partly because of hiking interest rate will also cause more interest. Remember, there's about 3.3 to 3.7 trillion of the treasury bonds that US owe to big debtors like the Chinese and also the Japanese. Raising interest rate means they have to pay back more in interest. So this is something of a catch-22 dilemma in here. Definitely one of the stocks, if they do raise interest rate, will be the bank. So we'll be looking at BAC. BAC stands for Bank of America. Again, switching to the US S&P 500 here, you can see the banks up doing pretty well. BAC here, and they have started to move, and we're also seeing that on our Malaysian financial sector too. You can see the banks has moved up right now, and only last Friday, there was some correction in here. This is again due to the interest rate a bit overbought, and a bit overbought, and looking to take some profit in here. Of course, the standard kind of excuses, which is right by the media, will be higher costs, inflations, and so on and so forth in here. But on the technical side, you need to be very specific. Try to buy at pullbacks, and that will be the likelihood of a better result rather than buying on the breakout in here. And you need to be very selective in here. So also many analysts is saying that any pullback, any pullback, right? Usually I would say buying at the double bottom would be much better than just buying on the breakout in here. That will assume buying on dips if the market were to continue to raise, well, like what is seen in year 2021 with around the 26% return for the S&P 500, then US market will do much better in here. Now on the Singapore side, the stock to watch, let's go over to Singapore SGX here. Okay, and you can see the Singapore market breaking higher, almost hitting the old high in here. Would it form a double top in here? Again, that is yet to be seen, taking a cue from the US market. For Malaysia, 1560 seems to be the resistance, whether you can raise higher in here, yet to be seen for this week. And do remember, tomorrow is a public holiday because of Thaipusam, so that's why we are seeing profit taking in here, because we're not really sure what's going to happen when the public holiday is tomorrow, but US is public holiday today, the Martin Luther King holiday, right? So the US market will be closed. So on the US side, we are looking at let's see, this morning yes, it's up. STI up 7.6% in here, and we are looking at the stocks QC7. Okay, that is the Q&M dental, and if you look from a stock chart in here, that is a very nice base building in here before the market can go a bit higher. Watch out for the green pentagon if you are the beginner. All right, now let's move on to our next segment, which is the review some of the beginner trade idea. I specifically look at some of the idea of a market leader, because that will give some sort of support rather than looking at those penny shares. So first of all, let's take a look at the stocks that we have here. Hexa. Now remember, this morning we have market sell-off about 8 points already down. And lately been getting, okay, Hexa Global. You can see Hexa Global building a nice base, and this was the one of the stock that was picked up in the 27th of December. Now one way what we have done is to go over to the KLSE watch list. You can see on top of me here is to build the January watch list. GCB, Kosan, KPS. Now KPS is our stock trade idea that we will be talking about today shortly. We have Inari, and then we have P Trans. Okay, so P Trans next. P Trans made up, but we have a we have a 2-bar reversal in here, holding up it here today. And next one was GCB. We've seen it earlier on, and that was selected on the 3rd of January. Okay, it went up here, but the market sell off. You can see here 2.5%, and this morning it's unchanged. Open up higher, but close back at that price. So it does looks like this market is going into some sort of resistance that we see so far. Okay, and if you have any stocks that you want me to look at, perhaps you can pencil into the comment. I'll be happy to look into it. All right, for the stocks, but before that, let's take a look at some of our past winner that we have in here, and to look at what are the common characteristics that those stocks that we have. So what you want to do is just go over to Robie chart, and you go over to KLCI first, Robie chart, and then you want to go over the Pentagon Guider, switching to a wider chart here, and you can see right at the bottom the latest monthly Pentagon, and hit that one. That should take you to the chart that we've seen. We've seen Costa is up another 40% HSA, but I want you to draw your attention to the more recent one, the 5th of January. Okay, let me just scroll this up here. Yep, scroll this up. You can use basically your hand to scroll this. Yep, that's right. You can undo 16th of December. Okay, and you can scroll all the way down. Not all they make money. There are some smaller one, and you can see the 16th of December, Anju, Press Metal, D-Nex. The more recent one was M-Bank. All right, so looking from them, M-Bank, 5th of January. So we're going to take a look at M-Bank now, because the finance sector, all right, that's the one that hold on is very well, and you can see the finance sector continue to push up. So if we look from here, M-Bank has gone up on my side here. which is the M-Bank is up, touching here. That's right, you can see up 10.77% from the entry here to the old high. So that's a good one in here. So what are those? The press metals, those are from December trade idea. So check it out when you feel 3A, KSL, PBB. Okay, GCB was one of the peak and it's turned slightly negative, maybe about 3% in here. Pestex, so forth. I think the key message in here is to look at some of these stocks. Not all of them would actually be winner, but you'll notice the winner are bigger and the losses are usually smaller from in here onwards. So study them as what you want to study in terms of the good stocks that we have. Of course, you have more time because every day you can always take a look at some of this winner in here. So that's how you want to improve your chart reading and knowing some of these stocks, especially if a GR means that it's a growth stock. That's a stocks that you want to be knowing. Like in this case, you can see Aeon Credit, which is on the 23rd of December. Let's take a look at that one. Now, if you have any stocks that you want me to look at, do let me know. You can see this is what I mean here, moving up, right at the double bottom in here. You can see the market just moved up to the above the zero. That was a good entry point, right above the zero here, and then the market started to push up in here. Right, this is a play on the economic recovery in here and also earnings in here. So many of these stocks have very similar kind of setup. So with this onward, you're able to study the chart better in here and give you an insight why some stocks move higher and some stocks don't move higher. All right, let's move on to our next segment that we have, which is the watch list. Now, one of the things that you can do on your watch list, as I said before, I will show you in here, is the trading plan. So let's incorporate this together and into our next stock pick. Okay, so the next stock we're going to be talking about is KPS. Now let's take a look at KPS on chart wise. This KPS, you can see turn green pentagon already. So what we're going to do is to switch on to our trading plan. All right, KPS, and we will put the trading plan, stop loss and resistance, and if we get notified, that's how we own it. So let's look at trading plan here. So trading plan is resistance 1, 0.755, 0.79. Weekly resistance is 755. So we haven't broke yet, but I think a good area will be 7.9. Okay, 7.9 will be that area we're looking at. So 7.9, and what is the support level? Okay, support level will go on to our exit strategy. So we know 7.9 is our likelihood our resistance, and you can see here our support is 6.9, weekly support 7.2. All right, 7.2, 6.9. I think I'll put 6.9 will be much better. 6.9 is down here, or 7.2 will be okay because this market started to move up. All right, so this is what we do. So we just go over to the KLSE, go over to the watch list, and remember I have KPS, right? So hit KPS and we want to edit. So early on we know the so-called the resistance 0.79 and the lower bound is 0.72. All right, so that way we know whether we hit our target, right, our target resistance and our target support. So hit that one, put that in, and that's it. So you can see from the watches in here, KPS is at 79 and 72. So that's how we're going to do it, keeping it simple so you can able to see some of this whether it's been hit or not. All right, so that's how we want to going forward to use the watches, and to use the watches you need to activate the monthly pass. All right, that's all you need to do, and that will be our simple plan to it. All right, and for Wednesday night, our 3-day showcase, that's right, before the Chinese New Year festive season, in here finding certainty in an uncertain market, 3-day showcase on the 19th. So there is a Zoom link on the comment in here. Make sure you join us on the 19th. It's absolutely free. This 1.5 hour talk or one and a half hour talk on next week. You should showcase how we use VSA for our past success and how you can use it too, whether you are in the US market, KLC market, SGX, and also Hong Kong market, how we do it. And also on Friday, how to use intraday. Okay, how to use intraday to compound your income. All right, this is what we have planned up for you in the coming Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday talk. All right. So, and also don't forget, our registration for our masterclass is open right now for the intake in February. For those of you who longing to want to join our masterclass, to have been coached by myself and my fellow trainer and coaches, this is an opportunity in here for you to venture into proven way to trade the US market and the KLSE market, to become part of the elite professionals that we always wanted to do, and we are able to coach you just like we are still ongoing our VSA Turtle Trader right now in here. All right, and of course for our existing member, you can also come back and re-attend our courses in here. Right now we're going to be going into the stock chart. All right, if you have any stocks that you want us to look at, do pencil those in. We're happy to look at it. Ahmad has one. But Ahmad, do let me know where your what profession you are. All right, that's always been one of our protocol here. Before I answer you, do let us know. Okay, now if you have not given us a feedback on our SMARTRobie Google SMARTRobie feedback, just go over to Google Play Store, Apple Play Store to do so. All right. And then now happy to look into your opcon for you. Okay. Morning everybody, right? And this morning we are seeing some of those stocks like Inari. I think we have seen it here. Okay, they're holding back, they're pulling back because of the newspaper that I talk about. Great Tech. Okay, all coming back. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's a good day to buy today because the market has been down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 days in a row. Very, very seldom we have 10 days in a row fall, and then the market will zoom back up. This is a way to actually make a little bit of money if you're on the tech stocks, right? Remember, just now on Great Tech, you're looking at $8 in here. Okay, we have Nora here. All right, Nora, please let me know what profession or you're a member of the masterclass. All right, then I'm happy to answer you there. Let's take a look at VSI. Okay, VS Industry. VS Industry here. And VS Industry has, it's all turning back. Okay, it's still holding up a support in here, hasn't broken out, but all the technology stock really been taking a beating in here. All right, just let me know if you wanted me to look at your stocks, but do let us state us your profession or whether you're a masterclass member, and we are happy to review this. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, Nora is a member. Sorry, Nora. Okay, let's look at Unisem. Unisem fall down again. Similar story with Inari. This is actually a good point to be buying, but I usually will wait for the double bottom. All right, double bottom. We go back up here. It's not going to zoom back up. It's going to go back up from a double bottom, buy it back around this price, 320. But once you have that double bottom, it's more assuring to adding on to your position, or if you do not have some of these stocks. But also remember, right, as I said before, if you are part of our members, I always talk about not having overexpose yourself on one sector. Okay, not having oversell. If you want to focus all into it, right, rather than putting all too many on one sector in here. I think this will be a great comeback for the technology stocks. Of course, some of our members in our Telegram chat room did talk about whether the technology will be like another rubber glove. I think the story is unlike that. Rubber glove is very unique in its story because it is only respective to Malaysia, and you have seen that the manner how rubber glove stocks has taken off and been coming down, a lot of these are actually due to smart money and overblown by the media too, right? Usually if you look from, okay, let me see another one here. No problem, no problem. No problem, Nora. Thank you. All right, if I don't get any more stocks, this is where I will depart here for today. And of course, don't forget to join our, subscribe to our YouTube channel for all our videos and also archive. And together, also do share this Telegram chat room with your friends and your colleagues so you're able to be informed of all our educational manner. And again, I'll see you on Wednesday for the Wednesday breakfast show and also for our 3-day VSA showcase. So make sure you join me to find out more how VSA 360 can help you in your trading investing for year 2022, whether you are investing in the Malaysian market, US, SGX or Hong Kong. Thank you again.